Okay, apparently we are live. Let's double check it here. Checking it there, checking it here, checking it there, checking it everywhere. Waiting for it to go up. Let's see. Looks like it is live. Okay. And no ad at the very beginning. Is that right? Okay. Cool. All right. So, let me go to this. Let's knock out that. Okay. And let's see. Well, I'm gonna mute my mic and I'm gonna play some music. We're gonna get this thing moving because we got a retrospective going on tonight.
He black and white, how can that be? He might teach, he had to be the baddest of the bad, the toughest of the tough. Don't get him mad or he will get rough.
Mike Deep. Mike Deep.
Well, all the women sigh when he walked by. They all dig him, it ain't no lie. And if that wasn't the icing on the cake, you know how to rap and you know how to break.
Mike Deets. Mike Deets.
Here he comes around the bend, strutting on in with all his friends. There's Peter N, he big and strong. With all the women, he can't go wrong. Danger time, well he's a ninja man, trying to keep up as best he can. There's Mike Coots with a M16, walking down the street and look real mean.
Mike Deets. Mike Deets.
The kids at his school where he's rarely seen knows he's bad and they know he's mean. And where he works, oh man, it's almost funny watching him sitting doing nothing for money.
Mike Deets. Mike Deets.
But no one around would dare tell him so, 'cause if they did, they would be laying low. All of the men don't stand a chance when he come to school wearing those tight pants.
Mike Deets. Mike Deets. Mike Deets. Mike Deets. Mike Deets.
This to you is a word to the wise. Both of your arms equal one of his thighs. Let me tell you so you won't be alarmed. All of your body adds up to one arm. He's so strong a Cadillac was once propped up on top of his back. There's only one man who can do such feats. His name is simply
Mike Deets. Mike Deets. Mike Deets.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Give it up. Good evening, everybody friends, brothers, sisters, siblings, everybody across the USA and around the world. Hello to all the friends that are stopping by. Man, we got a full room already. This is fantastic. Metal Theologian in the house. We got DJ Trish. Did you see my little mixer there, Trish? I know it's nothing like what you got, but this I use with my computer when I DJ. And as a matter of fact, quick programming note, next week on the 14th, there will be no live stream because I will be out DJing. I'm going to be doing a Christmas concert for some friends. And yeah, all right. And let's see, man, we got Thumbfinger slapping it in the house. Mr. Nathan Bouchard and North Carolina Vinyl Picker. Man, I love it. This is fantastic. Quite an eventful evening. There was almost no live stream tonight. Let me explain why. Around, say, 5 o'clock or so, I'm up here in Cleveland, and we're just getting over a big bunch of really cold weather that's been blanketing a lot of the U.S. Yesterday it was like 24 degrees. Today the high was 39 degrees. Not bad. So everything's melting. Yeah. And as a matter of fact, I want to give a big thanks and a shout out to Mikey Bananas over at Grown Man Record Night. He was saying last night that he was thinking of doing some streaming tonight, which is cool. He can stream anytime he wants to because he streams a lot. And he says, "Oh, I don't want to go on Saturday night because I know Bill does his live stream at 10." That was really nice of him. So big class move. Of course, Jay the Curbist said, "Oh, screw him." No problem, Jay. You're all right. Anyway, so right around 5:30 or so, I go out to get something in the other room, and I hear our furnace in the house starting, stopping. My wife comes over and says, "This doesn't sound right, and it's not blowing any hot air." So I started checking it out, and it's like, yeah, something's freaking out. The furnace is not working. So started calling our wonderful HVAC contractor, who shall go nameless, but let's just say they're in a village by the bay. And I tried calling them, and their after hours system, it says, if you need help, press 0, and it goes right back to the beginning of the menu again. Press 0, goes right back to the beginning of the menu. So I looked up every single phone number I could find for these guys. Called them. It all defaulted to the same system, which was all in the same default. Went online, went and texted them, sent an online form to these guys saying, "Folks, my furnace is not working. I need some of that special 24-hour service that you advertise so much and that I'm paying for every month." Yeah, what are you gonna do? So, after we couldn't get any response, I even went to the office of the place. Of course, it was closed down, but there was no emergency phone number on the door. So I said, all right, well, the heck with this. I ran to Walmart, got a couple of extra space heaters so that that Roman and his mom have some warmth to go on. We've already got a space heater down here in our TV room, but I also got a space heater for the bedroom so me and the wife can sleep and not freeze tonight. So that's what's going on. No heat in this house. I got my little fancy heater here just in case it gets cold. Right now it's 68 degrees in here. I had this running for about 15 minutes before the start of the show. So what are we going to talk about tonight? Yeah, okay. I already showed this so DJ Trish knows, and I told you guys, no show next week. I am doing a Christmas party. So, I do have the customary regular Diet Coke, which tastes delicious as always. But since we have the threat of coldness and the weather outside. I got myself a little bit of tea here. As you can see that, yep, that's actual tea. I got the tea bag right here. This is from my wife, the Downton Abbey tea. It's got a picture of Violet on the box. And I've got my famous Frank Zappa mug. So I'm all set with that. And this stuff don't taste bad at all. Very nice. Chief Dancing Ostrich, I see you. And good to see you as well. All right. So, past couple weeks, I've been talking about this book that I've been going through. It's the Beastie Boys book. This is the third week I'm talking about this, but this week I actually finished this damn thing. Okay? And here's the backstory. Back in, I believe, 2020, 2021, I got this as a Christmas present from one of my stepdaughters. And famously, is what I do, because I got a whole stack of books up there that I still have not read or have just started reading. And, you know, I get good books, I put them on the shelf. I had glanced at this book. This book's got a lot of crazy stuff in it. I mean, pictures, graphics. It's got like comic book stuff. It's got a cookbook. It's got drawings, lists of songs, and of course the complete story from beginning to end about the Beastie Boys. This I didn't notice until last night, because what I was doing is, the thing that made me get through the entire book is the audiobook. Amazon Prime Music just added Audible to their benefits, and you can listen to one free book every 30 days. So I was looking at the books about music, and this one popped up. And I knew about this audiobook because there's all sorts of celebrity readers on here. I mean, you got Elvis Costello, Chuck D, Rachel Maddow, Tim Meadows, Rosie Perez, Wanda Sykes, let's see, Kate Schellenbach, MC Search, Jarvis Cocker, Chuck D, Snoop Dogg, Jon Stewart, just all sorts of celebrity readers reading the chapters in this, in addition to the Beastie Boys themselves, Michael Diamond and Adam Horovitz. Now, of course, MCA, Adam Yauch, is not speaking in the book because he passed away. That's what brought the Beastie Boys as a band to an end. But this book, if you're into the Beastie Boys, this is wonderful stuff. Fills in just about all of the cracks and crooks and nannies and nooks and crannies, all of the questions you had. It talks about how their relationship with Rick Rubin and Def Jam soured after their first album, and how they eventually landed on Capitol, and how they kept on doing outrageous things and getting away with it and just having a lot of fun with it. That light's too bright. Anyway, so what I would do is I would listen to an hour of this book. It's a 12.5-hour book. I'd listen to an hour of this on my walk. And then when I got home, I would go through and I would review the pages that were just read to me, and then put my bookmark at the place where I had stopped. And I went through that every day, because there's stuff in the book that ain't in the audio book. There's stuff in the audio book that ain't here. And it complements each other. I want to find this one part near the end that was just so freaking fun. Let's see. It's close to the end. It should be easier to find, because of the funny thing that happens when you pull it out. Let's see. Is that it? Yes, here it is. Okay. So, this is about equipment. Stuff that they deem necessary for what they do in the studio, stuff that they love music-wise. So you go in here and you reach in, and it's got a list of like 40-some pieces of equipment. And then when you pull it out, there's a fold-out with a really nicely detailed picture of each and every piece of equipment that is talked about in this chapter. Oh, it is so cool. And if you noodle in making music, I mean, they talk about the Hohner D6 clavinet, which I used to have, the Maestro Rhythm King, the Fender Jazz Bass, the Ampeg Scroll Bass, the roll of duct tape, floppy disks, the Oberheim DX drum machine, the Univox Super Fuzz, all sorts of great things. So I know that this review is years late. It came out in 2018, and here it is 2024. But because of the age of this book, you can get it for pretty inexpensively now. So if you've got any interest at all, check this out and then check out the audiobook as well. You will be entertained beyond your wildest dreams. So before I move forward and show you my Beastie Boys collection, I'm going to look at the stuff in the chat room, see what we got going on here. Yes, Metal T, Cleveland weather is bullshit. Yes, definitely. And let's see, stormy weather this side of the Atlantic too. Overnight sensation. Yes. Interesting. I saw a magazine that I almost bought, but I had to run out of the store to make an appointment. There was a review of the apostrophe box, which I just put out a big review this week on my channel, and there was also an interview with Amit Zappa about what kind of stuff's coming next year. Of course, Amit didn't leak anything, but you know what? I have a feeling that there's going to be some ultra cool shit coming out from the Zappa camp in 2025. So, and yes, Nate, there was also a Beastie Boys documentary that came out around the same time as the book. It was really good. Yes, and that was on Apple TV Plus. It still is on there, and all this stuff falls together like a really slick jigsaw puzzle. So what I want to do is I've got Beastie Boys stuff here that I've been collecting since the late 80s. So first, let's go with a record that is Beastie Boys' early recordings. This was released on vinyl on the Record Store Day 2020, and it's called Some Old Bullshit. This has the Beastie Boys' earliest recordings back when they were a quartet, and they had Kate Schellenbach on drums. And it's on white vinyl. It's got their very first 7-inch on it, which was the Egg Raid on Mojo. And then it's got their Cookie Puss EP on here. And this is the earliest recordings of the Beastie Boys back when it was recorded on 4-track cassette and stuff, and put out on an extremely low priority, low profile label, which was Rat Cage Records. And Rat Cage Records did put out the very first Beastie Boys 12-inch, Cookie Puss, which was a funny song about the Carvel ice cream cake, also known as Fudgy the Whale. And it says right here on Rat Cage Records, it says it right there. So this is the very first Beastie Boys record, and these are pressed in England for some reason. They ordered it from some company that did the whole package and then sent it over. And Rat Cage, which was a record store that they hung out, that was the label that they put it out on. And have I ever seen Soupy T live? No, Metal Theologian. I don't even know who Soupy T is. So I apologize. All right. So then I've got one of their very first 12-inch singles back before they had a big label for an album. Before their first album, there was the 12-inch single of Hold It Now, Hit It. Now, I know that Rock Hard came out first and then She's On It, but this is the earliest 12-inch I have of Hold It Now, Hit It, which has 3 versions, and this one is the Acapulco version, which is like half beats, half rhymes, none of them at the same time. They keep on flipping back and forth. And yeah, very good stuff. And the song Hold It Now, Hit It eventually was on their first album, Licensed to Ill. Let's see, just put this back in here and get this there. This is going to be a mess to reshelve afterwards, but oh well, we have fun here. Soupy T. I have no idea who Soupy T is. Are you talking about Superhost by any chance? Good old Marty Sullivan. The dude is missed. And of course, their first album, Licensed to Ill. Got that here. And this is an original press on Columbia Def Jam. It has now been re-released on Universal. And I've also got the CD of it. Came out in 1986. And subsequent single on the Def Jam label, it's The New Style and Paul Revere with some dub mixes and stuff like that on there. Very cool. And in the book, have a little bit more Downton Abbey tea here. Anyway, so yeah, the Beastie Boys then had a falling out with a Def Jam and Rick Rubin, and as a result, they had to start from scratch. They had to go to another record label, and they eventually landed on Capitol Records. Now, you see, this is the old-fashioned Capitol label, but instead of Capitol, it says Beastie Boys on there, and this is the masterpiece that came out. Let me pull it out here. And this is Paul's Boutique. Lots of very cool stories in the book about this album. And this record really opens up. And it's just got... There's the inner sleeve with all the lyrics there. And a picture of the band. But the rest of this is like a 360-degree panorama of a corner in New York City. Absolutely beautiful. A quad fold out for a single LP. Crazy, crazy stuff. That's Paul's Boutique. And this is probably the last album to have so many samples that are uncredited on here. After this album, the hammer came down on sampling, and all samples had to be cleared before you put out records. And the Beasties did do what they could to make sure that all of the samples were paid for. As a matter of fact, there's a story in the Beastie Boys book where Ad Rock meets a guy who said that he was the voice on a record that they sampled that was just in a couple of seconds on one of their records. And he said that he had never seen any money from that record until the Beastie Boys sampled it. So that was pretty sweet. But man, these guys got away with sampling the Beatles. And of course, there is the CD of Paul's Boutique. All right. What else we got here? Okay, now the check your. You know, I'm working up such a sweat. Whew. And yet there's no heat going on. You see, every time the power goes out, you just do a live stream. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. All right. So, the first single from the Check Your Head album, and I got CD singles here. I got Past the Mic, which has some B-sides on it and stuff that is not on the record. And of course, I've got the album itself, Check Your Head. Also on CD. And there's also some extra CD singles. I got the Gratitude CD single, which has extra stuff on it. I've got the So What You Want CD single with extra tracks on it. And I've also got, and this looks like it's been in a scuffle. Look at this. Oh no! This is the Jimmy James, the Jimmy James CD single, which has the original version with the original Jimi Hendrix samples, which they got cleared on here. So these versions are not on the album. And also got the Frozen Metalhead 4-track EP, which is right around the same size. Side has it's an English CD single. It's got Blue Nun, Jimmy James, and Drinking Wine on it. Very nice. And the album that came out next is Ill Communication. Very nice. Got that on vinyl and on CD. Also got the Root Down CD single, which samples that great Jimmy Smith track, Root Down and Get It. Yeah, over 100 songs were sampled on Paul's Boutique. Great, great, great album that was. All right. Now, in between that album and the next one that they did, they had a bunch of punk songs that they wrote that were left over. And so they put together an EP called Aglio e Olio. And they tried to sell it really, really cheap. I mean, I think this only cost me a couple of bucks on CD. But then they re-released it on Record Store Day. Probably charged like twice or four times as much on it. And this has 10 tracks on it, including the previously unreleased Light My Fire, their cover of the Doors tune. So that was pretty neat. And that's no hip hop on that. All punk. All punk. It's great. Whew. Okay. Now, there's a compilation album of a bunch of instrumental stuff that they did called The In Sound From Way Out, that was modeled after another album by Kingsley and the other guy that did it. And very strange, but marketed like a jazz album. It's got the picture of them dressed up as old men that was used for the Sounds of Science compilation, which I don't have a copy of. Oh man, would I love to get my hands on that, because it's got a whole bunch of other tracks that are not on any other Beastie Boys album. And of course, I've got the CD of the In Sound from Way Out as well in a lovely little digipack. And then another great record from them, which is Hello Nasty. And this song's got like 34 tracks on it. 2-record set. Hello Nasty. Also got the Digipack CD right there. And check out all of those lyrics. Right. Oh, they got their spaceship. But right there. Okay. Freeze frame. Read them all. It's crazy. But yeah, seriously, this is a pretty good album as well. And one of the best tracks on here is this song called Body Movin'. Now, body moving, A1 sound, and the sound so soothing. Body moving, we be getting down and you know go crush grooving. Now, this is a 12-inch, and there's the album version, and then there is the Fat Boy Slim remix, which, if you see the video for Body Movin', which is cut up from an old Italian spy movie, the audio on the Body Movin' video is the Fat Boy Slim remix. So yeah, this is some great stuff here. Put that back in here. Oh yeah, and Intergalactic was on the Hello Nasty album. Now, let me take a little detour here, because Beastie Boys are also deeply into video. Here is the Sabotage DVD. I forgot that Ill Communication had the song Sabotage on it. But this is a entire, it's in a CD box, but it's got like 20 different chapters on here. All sorts of cool stuff. I forgot that I had this. I'm going to have to watch this again. And this is from, what year this comes? A Pioneer Artists DVD. And doesn't have a year on it, but it's the same year as Ill Communication. Yeah. All sorts of wild graphics, Beastie Boys as action figures in there. So there's one DVD. And then also, after Hello Nasty came out, there was a collection of videos that was put out as a Criterion Collection double DVD. This is nuts. I mean, it's got all of their major DVDs that were out at the time. Intergalactic, Shake Your Rump, Gratitude, Something's Gotta Give. That's just on the first disc. On the second disc, there's a whole bunch of other stuff on here. Even Alive, which was kind of like a non-LP thing. It's got the first DVD. It's got the second DVD. And they've got a complete instruction manual on how to find all the stuff on this DVD set. This is fantastic, including for the song 3 MCs and 1 DJ with Mixmaster Mike. They've got a multiple angle video of that, where you can see the finished video all edited down, Or you could select the angles of, they had 3 different cameras inside of the studio because it was all done live. And I'll never forget, in 2004, when I was still dating my wife at the time, she came over and I showed her the video to 3 MCs and 1 DJ. And she was absolutely confused. I said, what's the matter? And she says, wait a minute. Are you trying to tell me that the Beastie Boys are white? She did not know. She thought the Beastie Boys were black. So, hey, to each their own. But this is very cool. I believe this is out of print from the Criterion Collection. But if you want to track it down, it is Criterion Collection number 100, the Beastie Boys Video Anthology. Okay, so then the next album to come out by the Beastie Boys is To the Five Boroughs, which has this beautiful illustration of the skyline of New York City, including our dearly departed Twin Towers. And let's see. Yeah, that goes with the next album. And on the tour for this, they made a concert film. Time to switch from Diet Coke to the Downton Abbey tea. All right. Now, what MCA did is he distributed to fans in the audience at this concert 50 portable video cameras. And he says, shoot this concert. Shoot the crowd, shoot us on stage, shoot whatever you want, but document the entire show. And these 50 people went out and they did that. And after the concert, all 50 people returned those video cameras to the Beastie Boys. They took all their media, then they boxed up all of the cameras, and the next day they returned them back to the store they bought them from and got their money back. And the resulting project was a concert movie called Awesome, I Fucking Shot That. And this actually won awards, and Audience Award, Grand Jury Prize, Best Director, and you know what? I don't think that these are actual awards, because they're like from here. I'm going to show my age real quick here. I got to find my my magnifying glass. Take a look here. Yeah, they got the Kazakhstan Film Festival, the Shibuya Film Festival, the Appenzell Film Festival, and the Lefrak City Movie Contest. So these are not legitimate, actual awards, but they decorated them in such a way. And there are 2 DVDs full of stuff in here, as well as an instruction manual as how to check this out. Look at this. Awesome, I fucking shot that. Here we go. A guide to enjoying this DVD. This is very cool as well. I kind of forgot that I had this wonderful video. And it says that it's directed by Nathaniel Hornblower, which if you're in the know, it's MCA. It's Yauk. So I do have the 2 to 5 Boroughs CD, which is still in the original shrink wrap, but there is a digipack inside of that. And then the Beastie Boys did an instrumental album called The Mix-Up. This is the only one I don't have on vinyl, aside from the Sounds of Science. This is, all these tracks are only on this album. And it's all instrumental, no rapping. Very, very jazzy, very funky. This is pretty cool. And then just before their last album, they put out a one-off single with Nas of Too Many Rappers, and that song ended up on the last Beastie Boys album, which is Hot Sauce Committee Part 2. Now, in the book, they say that they ended up releasing this instead of Hot Sauce Committee Part 1, and they're claiming that all of the material from Hot Sauce Committee Part 1 is in a hard drive inside of a duffel bag that was left someplace and stolen. And personally, I think that's just a story that was made up. The intent was never to release Hot Sauce Committee Part 1, but that's just my opinion. And this one had Make Some Noise, Too Many Rappers, Funky Donkey, Tadlock's Glasses, the Lisa Full Force Routine. Another cool thing about this album is that whereas all the previous Beastie Boys albums had samples from other artists, all of the samples on this album were made by the Beastie Boys themselves, and they tried to doctor it up to make it sound as though they came from other sources. Then, in the liner notes to the album, they gave credits that said the samples from this album were from this song by this artist, courtesy of this label. They're all made up. Now, in the Beastie Boys book, you've also got pictures of the fictitious album covers that these songs came from. So freaking cool. And yes, I've got not only the CD with the digipack on it. There you go. But I've got, which came with the special pre-order of Hot Sauce Committee Part 2, a single, a 45 of Pop Your Balloon and B-Boys in the Cut. And this 7-inch is on white vinyl. Very nice. And there are two different Beastie Boys compilation hits albums. There is Beastie Boys Music, which was released about the same time as the Beastie Boys book and the Beastie Boys movie. And before that, there was a thing called Beastie Boys Solid Gold Hits. Now, this is a 2-disc set, which the first disc is the actual songs themselves. The second one is a DVD with all the videos of the songs on the first disc. And that, my friends, is my Beastie Boys collection. Whew! That was a lot. That was a lot. But I'm not done with this program yet. I've still got more stuff to do. Ha ha! Yes, indeed. This is good tea. Oh, by the way, this is not an official Frank Zappa cup, but it does have the Frank Zappa mustache on it. But it does have a quote on here that says, "I never set out to be weird. It was always other people who called me weird." Okay. So we got a couple more reviews of records we've spoken about before. I had planned to listen to the Ben Folds Christmas album called Slayer today, but I just ran out of time because things were happening. But one thing that I did listen to this week, which really surprised me as to how excellent it is, was this Record Store Day album that I bought. Big Brother and the Holding Company, featuring Janis Joplin, live at the Grandy Ballroom, Detroit, Michigan, March 2nd, 1968. Now, I wasn't expecting this to be that great, but the reason why I was not expecting that is because there is a magazine it used to be a print magazine. Now, I believe it's an online-only magazine called Mix. It caters to people who record music and deal in the business of releasing and mixing and recording records. They had a series about classic recordings and how these records were made, the situations leading to the recording, and they had a story about Piece of My Heart, which was on. Hold on a second. I know I got it here. Here we go. Piece of My Heart was originally on Cheap Thrills. Classic album cover. But this article led you to believe that that album, as well as the single, was not necessarily all of a live album. It said that the album was doctored up a lot to sound like a live performance, but it was a mixture of studio and overdubbed live recordings just to fix it up. And they placed the blame as to why they had to do all that on the band itself, Big Brother and the Holding Company, and said that Janis Joplin was the only person with their head on straight, and that she was greatly responsible for all the great things that happened with that band. But, you know, they did an earlier album as well, a self-titled album, and this ain't bad. But you listen to this newly unearthed recording, and this is a bit more stark naked and honest as to what the actual concert sounded like. And this is really good, and Janis just sings her soul out. It's fantastic, and the band, they're tight, they're playing good, and it leads me to believe that this band was probably better than people were led to believe. Nonetheless, after Cheap Thrills, Janis ditched Big Brother and the Holding Company and formed her own band, the Full Tilt Boogie Band. And Big Brother and the Holding Company, in different iterations, kept on, and I still believe that there is a ensemble that calls themselves Big Brother and the Holding Company, with the I believe the drummer and the bass player originally on this album are still with the band. So that is that. Let's see. What other new stuff did I listen to this week? Listened to the new They Might Be Giants compilation, which is called The Spine Surfs Alone. It is on red vinyl. Heavyweight red vinyl, and it's a bunch of singles and rarities that came out between 1995 and 2005. If you are a They Might Be Giants fan, as I am, and you follow them online, they give a lot of music away through their website, stuff that you can just download for no charge. And a lot of these songs I had previously downloaded, but these are really good sounding versions. And if you buy it online, they will send you a digital copy so you can play it in your car. Best sounding ones. All right, what else we got going on here? Hello, sexy daddy. And it says, do you like Black Sabbath? Duh, of course I do. You want to see my Black Sabbath records? I've shown them before. But hey, we got some time. We only got 10 minutes to the top of the hour. Let's pull out my Black Sabbath records, boys and girls. All right. Oh, it goes all the way to here. All right, I haven't got all of them because there's still a lot more. Oh. I got a big bunch of Black Sabbath. I only got one Ozzy album though, but let's take a look at them. All right, well, I've got the first Black Sabbath album. I've got this copy, which came out, I believe, in 2010. And I've also got the Rhino Hi-Fi version that came out earlier this year, which, believe it or not, is better. This is really nice. I've got a 2010 press of Black Sabbath Paranoid from Vinyl Me Please. This is cut by Kevin Gray. This is great stuff. And of course, the first 4 Black Sabbath albums. Come on. Whew. Amazing. I've also got the original quadraphonic pressing of Black Sabbath Paranoid, not the repress that just has it mixed down the stereo. This is the actual quadraphonic record. And I do have the Blu-ray audio of that as well. Then, of course, there's the third album, Master of Reality. This smokes. This is fantastic. And, of course, Black Sabbath Volume 4, classic album. Sabbath Bloody Sabbath, not as great as the first 4, but still necessary. Sabotage, people have varying feelings in this. Some people love this, think it's like Black Sabbath's progressive album. I'm not that thrilled with it. It's not my favorite, but still, it's in my collection. I like it. And then the last thing I have is this Ronnie James Dio masterpiece, Mob Rules. This is freaking great. I do want to find a copy of Heaven and Hell and get that. Oh yeah. Black Sabbath, baby. You gotta love it. You gotta love it. Oh. Wonder if this stuff is caffeine free. Tastes really nice. I did put just a tiny bit of sweet and low in here. Let's see. Excuse me. Still 69 degrees in this room. I'm heating it up with my energy. And hopefully, by the time we do our next show, which will be on Frank Zappa's birthday, the 21st of December, that's 2 weeks from today, everything will be fixed with the heat. I'm hoping it'll be fixed tomorrow. Or I'm going to be doing some ranting and raving, I tell you that much. But what else is I got to go and do? Other questions here. Let's see here. Hello, Lynn Holly. Hallie, sorry about that. Good to see you. And let's see. Oh, okay. Well, we got some here. Let's see. Metal Theologian was talking a bit about Soupy T, a Cleveland legend. Says he was kind of a crazy guy who would just start a cappella jams in record stores around town. He had a band for a little while, and he saw him at the Fantasy nightclub. Cool. There is a rapper from Cleveland that I liked. He kind of broke out in a regional way. It was MC Chill. He had a great song called Bust This Rhyme. You might want to go on Spotify and check it out. Bust This Rhyme by MC Chill. That's right. It's like the polar bear said, the ice cream eater. I won't say goodbye, just catch you later. You later, you later, you later, you later. So that's what's going on. All right, other things in Frank Zappa news. If all goes as planned, the next episode of the ZappaCast will be out this week. Got a very special guest, and very interesting guest. I'm not going to say who it is, but it's a friend of the show, and I would definitely check it out once it comes out. If you haven't heard the one where we talk about the Apostrophe boxed set, check that out. And of course, you know that the Spudluck album, it is still available through Bandcamp. It's an extremely cheap download, but if you want to buy it on vinyl, it is still available, and I will ship a copy to you. Somebody just bought a copy earlier today, so I got to ship that out on Monday. So that's kind of pretty much what's going on. I'm going to play some more music here from the things here. Oh, today is Tom Waits' 75th birthday. Woo! Thank you, Flickering Waves, for that information. Hello, Charlie Launder. What's up? And let's see here. Let me pick out some music before I say my bye-byes. Let's see. Ba-da-ba-dee-ba-ba. Should I play that? Nah. Oh, I'll play that. That's kind of fun. That rocks out. Let's see. Yeah, I like that one. Or better yet, wait a second. Yeah, I'll start it out with that one. Okay, so once again, next week, no show. I've got a gig. I can't do it, so I won't be here. But 2 weeks from today, Frank Zappa's birthday, December 21st, I'll try and have some more information. I'm going to even try and have some special guests on the show. So that's it. And, oh, cool. You're, Charlie, you are a big Primus guy. You met last month. Very cool. Yes. To continue the saga, Primus is still auditioning drummers because they got a whole tour planned next year, and I know that Danny Carey can't do all the shows that they have planned, but very excited to see what happens with Primus. Now they do have a gig, they have a tour planned for 2025, and I saw them at Blossom Music Center in Cuyahoga Falls just earlier this year. There's a gig planned. I'm tempted to buy tickets. I don't go to very many concerts because of my responsibilities. I'm a very busy person, but I'd like to go and see it. Whatever. I mean, I'd love to see a whole new Primus, which has members of the Frog Brigade and the Holy Mackerel in it, with not only Les on bass, Lur on guitar, somebody on drums. We need a keyboard player in there and a horn player, a full-blown Primus, expanding the universe of Primus and not making it, let's have some more compositional input from Larry Lalonde and stuff like that. I'm just very excited about the future of Primus. I mean, and I wish Tim Alexander well, and hope he's doing good. He's selling off his drums. But yeah, he's not coming back to the band, folks. So let's see what happens with the future of Primus. So yeah. Oh, but yeah. Look at this. Maybe bringing back Buckethead. You never know. That might be cool. All right. Well, I'm going to play some music. Until next week, I had a great time. I hope you did too. Hit that like button. Yeah, come on. What? You hate me or something? Just hit that like button, please. Hit the like button. If you're not already... Wait a sec. I have to lubricate the old mouth here. There you go. If you're not already a subscriber, hit that subscribe button. Also, this week, I just put out my personal review of the Frank Zappa Apostrophe Super Deluxe Boxed Set. Watch it, because I worked on it a lot, and it turned out really good. I enjoyed it. So, all right, gonna play some more music. I want to thank you again for stopping by, and we'll see you in 2 weeks. Okay? Okay. Let's see. This one? Yeah, this one's good. This one rocks. ECTI, baby! Keep yourself happy, keep yourself safe, keep yourself good. Love to y'all, and have a great week.